The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daryl Walter Show, the last show of the year. And that clip that you just saw was of our now angel Twitch doing a beautiful dance. So rest in peace to him. And I wanted to play that video and just talk about suicide. Um, we're going into the holiday season, y'all, and a lot of people are suffering silently. And I know we say check on your strong friends, and it's easy to say, oh, he was such a bright light and he gave so much. But I want to challenge you in regards to giving and not receiving. Twitch, it sounds like, was a man who was amazing and he had so much success, and a lot of people adored him, and a lot of people say he was a light. But I want to challenge you for those around you, or maybe you're going through your own suffering in silence. Um, while you're giving, make sure to receive. Make sure you're depositing back into your life. Make sure that you're giving back to yourself, and make sure that you're not just saying you're going to check on your strong friends. Actually be about it and put some action to it. So rest in peace to Twitch, an amazing human being. But I want to go on a limb and just step out there to say, those of you who are watching this now, and those of you who are watching this on the replay, you are amazing also. You are loved. You are needed. You are more than enough, right? And sometimes people need to be reminded about their how amazing they are. So I just wanted to share that and let everybody know I love you. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Now, let's move forward on a lighter note, y'all. I did a lot of stuff in the last week. I went to Atlanta, had maybe too much fun, got to work on some projects. So, what I wanted to do was, oh, thank you. Exactly. I wanted to do like a show and tell. So, Kwame, if you could bring that video up, and then I'll share a little bit of my experience in Atlanta. Hit it. So, first of all, if you have not been, the Atlanta Botanical Garden is amazing. This is what the art is called. That's the Greenhouse, one of them. It was absolutely beautiful, even more beautiful in person. Piedmont Park. I went during the day, y'all. It was an amazing play, y'all. I just wanted you to see a little bit of it.
So everything that I was taught that gay was, honestly, I was the opposite. I fit more of the straight narrative than I did the gay narrative
My
outside of.
mom sitting on the porch, and I was like, "How would you feel if I liked the girls?" She said, "What?" I said, "How would you feel like?" Well, where would you even get that from? That you need to pray about that. About a week later, my mom called me. Did you pray about what I asked you? Yeah. So what happened? I said, I still like girls.
Well, I just never could be. I couldn't change it. I couldn't turn it off. There was no change in it. I don't care how much you beat me. I don't care how hard you come at me. I've always been that way. Like, I'm just going to be who I am.
Aw, y'all. I'm smiling because those last clips that you saw was from the filmmaker Sophia Wellman. And I'm excited to announce and share here. You're the first to hear it that my documentary, my show will be coming up soon. So look out for that. Subscribe to YouTube, Sophia Wellman, and you'll get to see my story. And I will say it's pretty raw. It's pretty raw. Now, let's just move forward because we got a lot of great things to show. I just want to talk about one subject. We want to talk about what went viral. Um, let's pull it up. Let's talk about it. Brittany Griner. I said I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to stay silent. But I realized a lot of people have their opinions about Brittany Griner. A lot of people are upset that she was, traded for a convicted killer, right? But here are my thoughts on it. Is what I want to share with you all. Um, what do we put value on, and how do we value the life of a human? I think what's going on in this situation is that because Brittany Griner is a black gay woman, that the value of her life is less. I am pretty convinced that if Brittany Griner were a white woman or a white man, the treatment would be different. I don't know how you all feel about that. You can take it to the bank, chime in. But I think we have to take into question how we value the lives of people. Would the reaction be different if Brittany Griner were a white man? I honestly think so. And I think in America, we have to look at how we value the lives of human. And sometimes we base our value higher or lower, depending if it's a black woman, a white man, a black gay man. And I think in this particular case, subconsciously, we are judging a black woman's life, saying that we don't see the value in it. So those are my thoughts. But shout out to her and her wife. I'm so happy that she's home. In spite of everything that's going on, I think, yeah, that's the merchant, the killer. This is who it's traded for. But listen, y'all, do we value life? Are we saying because she's a celebrity? Or are we saying we don't value her because she's black and she's gay and she's a woman? Just some things to think about. All right. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I think it does have to do with their sexual preference also. I'll say this. I believe, in America there is a hierarchy still, unfortunately. White heterosexual men are at the top, and unfortunately, a black lesbian woman is not at the top. And I don't think it's something we consciously do, but I think it's something we subconsciously do in the way our wording and how we react to certain things. You know, we're happy that she's home, but for a convicted murderer, would we have had the same thoughts if it were a white woman? I don't know. But here's what I want to do. I want to bring on my special guest, Kyrie Sinaj, because I have a surprise for you all. First, let me bring up Kyrie. What's going on, friend?
Hey, friend.
All right, y'all. So, in the spirit of it being my last show of the year, I invited Kyrie on. I said, Kyrie, instead of me being the interviewer, I'm going to be the interviewee. And I said, Kyrie, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me. I'm going to be transparent and I'm going to answer all the questions. But before we get into Kyrie, I want to know, what are your thoughts on the Brittany Griner situation? Because I know you have some.
No, Brittany Griner. I really don't think it has anything to do with her sexuality. If it does, the shame of it all is our people who weigh in on that part, because everybody else was just weighing in on it wasn't an equal trade. Even the
Mhm.
Orange Jackass weighed in on that. But now I did see what I didn't like though. I saw some black people, the gays, were comparing this to the what's his name, Grant Wall, I think his name is, over in Qatar, and they were.
Mhm.
I'm like, there's not a. They're like, well, you should have the same energy you had for Brittany to have for him, because there were some people who are like me that were saying, he exercised his white privilege, and this is what it got him.
Mm.
But they didn't. No, that's my thought. And well, with Brittany Griner, I'm glad she's out. I hope this shows you all, black straight men and whoever else, that black women are the ones who will go to bat for you. They will fight for you through hell and high water. That woman's wife stuck by her through everything. And y'all out here, because I was on a thread today on Instagram, and I'm like, I can't believe you all are fighting. Black men and black women are fighting over who is it is better to date white or not.
Again, it goes back to that value, though. That
Right.
value,
Yeah, you
right?
don't value black life, right? But let me tell y'all this: y'all go on to be with Becky and Jim. I bet you your ass go to jail. Becky and Jim ain't gonna fight for you like that woman did.
Baby, ask TJ Holmes about that. But we'll move forward. TJ Holmes gonna be working at the home shop, gonna be doing news from the HSN channel.
Baby, and Amy gonna be right there looking at DeMarco, trying to make him her next victim.
Okay. All right, y'all.
And all I
Let's
got,
get into it.
and all the thing I
Let's
was
get
saying
in.
is back off, bitch. Go ahead, what I'm saying.
Well. All right, y'all. We're gonna get into it. Listen, if you have any questions for me, put them in the comments, and I'm gonna answer everything because here's what I've learned about myself. I've learned so much about myself going to Atlanta. The trip was literally life changing. I mean that like from the depths of my soul. And one of the things I realized, and y'all were talking about it, because I'm Kojic and I'm churchy, is that I'm open but I'm very guarded and I don't share a lot of myself. I share what I think people want to hear. And I want to change that in 2023. So I said, Kyrie, I want you to interview me. Don't tell me what the questions are. And I see you over there looking at them. I'm a little nervous. I see you with the question. I said, go ahead and ask me whatever you want to ask me. And Kyrie said, oh, you want me to be Wendy Williams? I said, no, I want you to be you. I want you to be who you are.
Amen.
So I'm a little nervous about that because maybe I should have asked him to be Wendy Williams.
Well, when to get down to the nitty gritty. All
Baby,
right.
see what that got her.
Don't do that. Don't do that. So now, first question on the rocks is, who is Daryl Walter?
Oh, who is Daryl Walter? Wow. Daryl Walter is a complex human being. Wow, Kyrie, you just gonna go there. Okay. Um, I'm complex. I am a lover, not a fighter. I am I'm guarded. I'm an overthinker at times. I am sensitive. Let's see here. I'm a lot. I'm a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
That's who
Okay.
Daryl Walter is. He's an
that's,
Aries.
that's and I'm a lot.
I'm a lot. I'm a lot. But you know what? I embrace being a lot now.
As opposed to when.
The way, when I grew up, I grew up to be ashamed of myself, not to be extra, to kind of dim my light. So as I'm growing into myself, I am more aware of who I am in terms of being a bright light, in terms of my gifts and talents, in terms of who I am. And I give myself grace for a lot of areas that I think are imperfect, if I were to be honest. That's
Mm,
good.
that
That's
was good.
good.
Oh, that was. That
Oh,
was okay.
wow. Okay.
Okay, honey.
You're
Somebody
being
don't like you.
Oprah today.
Okay, you did that. Now, with that being said, so we know who you are. So now, what is your purpose?
You're really so my purpose. That's a
What you
good
said, ask me.
question. I did. I did. I didn't know there were going to be, my purpose. I believe my purpose is something I'm still figuring out.
You got like that.
I believe that my purpose is to uplift people. My purpose is to encourage people. Um, my purpose is still being defined.
I like the answer. Okay. So,
Mhm.
okay. So now, with your purpose. Now, will you is your purpose what's the word I want to say? Is your purpose a part of the Daryl Walters show?
So, yes, my purpose is a part of the Daryl Walters show.
Okay.
That's funny you asked that because I was really sitting here thinking, like, coming back from Atlanta and doing my show. Um, I was trying to figure out like what is my purpose in the show. You know, I me personally, I'm not setting out to be a gossip show, or hot topics. Although I know everybody loves hot topics, we love a little gossip. Who doesn't? But I really want people to leave with the show with a thought, with a, you know what, I'm thinking about that. That challenged me in my life in this area. Or they watch the show and go, you know what, I can really relate to that topic or that conversation. I'm gonna apply that to my life. Like in my goals, I love to see people happy in my life. I love to see people happy. I love I want people to walk away and go like, oh, okay, wow, I'm inspired, I'm moved, I'm emotionally better because I saw this show.
I like that. Okay. Now I
Yeah.
watched you. Now I'm gonna go back to your TikTok live. Now,
Yeah.
hey St. James, hey Ray B says I'm guarded, overthinking sensitive person too. I think we all can be overthinkers sometimes. That's just my opinion. I know I can be,
Yeah.
especially being
Yeah.
a leader. Now, going back to Friday night, we were talking, and then you said it right here again. Now I've seen you on the Dante show, and you was like, you no longer do church. I don't do church. I just can't take
Hmm.
it. Yada yada. But you are quick to say, I am Kojic. So now, how long has it been since you left the church, or did you really leave the church?
So my last time leading praise and worship in church was June of 2021.
Are you fresh? Okay, but that was your last time leading praise and worship. But did
And
you
I
leave?
left church. Yeah, I did.
Did you leave? But because in that conversation that we all were having that night,
Yeah.
and then listening to you talk, and I like I said, I watched you on the Dante show too. It's it seems to me like you've left the building, but you didn't
Hmm.
leave the actual church.
So here's my response to that. and this is the God honest truth. When you grow up in something that is you're so indoctrinated in,
Hmm.
um, you carry the residue. Like I'll say this, it took me about a year to not feel guilty for not going to church on a Sunday, right? It took me a year to wake up on a Sunday and not feel like, oh, I'm not at church, I'm a bad person, or I just feel like I got to be at church, right? Almost like an addiction.
Oh,
What
absolutely.
happens, you know, I'll say, and people can relate to it. One, a lot of people go to church. It just is what it is, and you carry
Listen,
that
some
residue.
people, you're right. I mean, some people go out of routine.
It's
What are
out
you
of
going for?
routine,
My question is, what are you going for? I asked you
right?
that.
Right. It's out of, so no, I don't go to church. I did go to church one time 2 weeks ago, but I don't wake up going like I have to go to church. Now, in regards to me leaving the building, but not leaving I guess the spirit of church,
Hmm.
like I'm churchy.
That's it. Yeah.
Like church is a culture, right? So it's like, let's say you grew up in a culture where you ate M&Ms every Sunday, and you did a dance every Monday. Like to break a 20-year addiction and act like there's no residue is like we be lying to ourselves. But let's go a step further. How many people are going to a traditional church that does not support their lifestyle, but they still go because they're conditioned?
I was at thousands. So like, okay, so what made you decide like this is it? I can't do this no more. This is it.
Ooh. So I had went on vacation to Palm Springs, and I was dating somebody, and I just had this moment of, ooh, okay. Um I had this moment of, I don't want to die in church unfulfilled and unhappy, right? I don't want to be that guy at the funeral that his friend, you know, he leaves his friend and yada yada yada. And also, I think what happened was I just had this aha moment where I realized that there's nothing I could have done that would change the fundamental belief that because I'm gay, that I'm going to hell. And the honest truth is, Kyrie, I knew it. I felt it. Like, I know people love me. I know people, enjoy my ministry when I was a praise and worship leader, and when I was in music ministry, moved thousands of people, right? The Lord came in and everything. But no matter how many souls were saved, right? My sexuality was sending me to hell. And it hurt to the core, because people go like, no, I love you, Daryl, because I can love you and not the sin. And it's like, well, I don't see myself as a sin. I don't see myself as a mistake, but there was still a part of me subconsciously that was holding on to that belief. And it finally sent me into the one of the darkest depressions I've been in. It sent me into a spiral because, ooh, the thought of people, I just thought I was going to hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like no matter what I did, no matter how amazing I was at speaking and singing and doing these great things, it was like this, at the end of the day, because of your sexuality, Daryl, you're going to hell. And it was like, there's nothing I could do about that. And I didn't want to live like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
and
I
that's when I
do.
made this 360 of like, you know what? I know I'm gay, but I'm going to be openly gay. I'm going to be openly me, not only for me, right? But that so other people can see like it is possible to make that change. Because like leaving church, I never would have saw myself leaving church before the pandemic, but so much transpired, you know what I'm saying? So much transpired during that time. Like, excuse me, I've been emotional, but it's like I don't want to die and they read my obituary and it's like my friend. I want to have a husband. I want to have a partner. You know what I mean? And I don't want to hide it or act like that's not a part of who I am, but also the aha moment was like I don't want to feel like I'm going to hell anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And then, like you said, being in church, I've been to funerals for gay guys who've been in church, and their partner wasn't even mentioned on the obituary.
I did not want
Like
to do that.
nobody acknowledged them, even though they
Yeah.
knew who he was. It was still, and that's so disrespectful to me.
It is. And I made the joke. I'm like, child, I don't want to be a sissy shouting in this church. Excuse me, I don't know if I can use that word. And doing all this shouting, but at the end of the day, because of who I am, this part of me, I'm going to hell. And it wasn't even what others thought. It was my developed thinking that I had to like really let go of.
Right, and that actually that takes time. And I'm just thinking for myself that, like you said, it takes time, and it takes a lot longer than St. James. It took him a month to feel comfortable about not going to church. It took me a lot longer than a month.
Listen, therapy, and I'll go a step further. Like I didn't want to go to a gay church. I didn't want to explore different religions. I've been there, done all of that. I did not want to be a part of a religious institution
Right.
anymore. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's like an addiction. Okay, well, I'm not doing crack, but now I'm over in weed. And okay, well, I'm not doing weed, but I
Doing
still
that.
eat a lot. I'm doing meth. I'm not doing drugs, but I'm shopping. Well, I'm not shopping, but now I'm going to
Right.
church.
Right. And church, and like the church can be an addiction.
Church is an addiction. Here's what I know about church, and here's what I know about people. And I tell people this all the time. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to belong. Everybody wants to feel wanted. And so a lot of times people are not going to church because they love God. And you know what, Kyrie, I'm gonna fight you with this phone. But I love you. But I love you. There's got to be a silent button.
That's the oh my god. Okay, that's the what happened.
When I
I
tell
was
you
like,
this
what
show is
happened?
ghetto today.
Oh,
Baby, I'm on live. Listen, y'all. Listen. We last show of the year, and I'm gonna be churchy right now. The devil is busy. Okay. My internet went down 5 minutes before the show. My phone ain't rang all day. Now everybody want to call me while I'm live.
y'all supposed to be watching the show. You supposed to be calling.
Yeah, y'all ain't called me all day. Now everybody blowing me up. Now, but as I was saying, a lot of people, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to feel wanted. Everybody wants to belong, right? And a lot of people are going to church out of feeling needed, out of feeling wanted. A lot of people aren't in the choir because they can sing. A lot of people are in the choir because they feel connected to something.
Right. Absolutely right.
That is the God honest truth. There's so many
That's
people who
that.
go to church because I'm on the choir, I'm a deacon, I feel needed, I feel wanted, right? And so many people, if they stop going to church, who's gonna want me? Who's gonna need me?
And,
Where will I be of use?
and the one thing people get caught up in is like that particular church. Because I was
Yeah.
talking to one of my little brothers now, and I'm like, if you're not being spiritually fed, why are you staying? I know you do everything. You're a trustee, you're a choir member, you're this, you're that. But if you're not being fed, what's the point?
Well, here's the thing, even that concept of being spiritually fed
Mm.
is is interesting because knowing what I know now on the other side of not going to church, my spirit is fed daily
Okay.
because God is everywhere. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? This show is feeding my spirit. I went to the grocery store today and I saw the black mom and the little boy, and he had on these little boots with his plaid. He had a little gold chain and everything. And I needed to see it because it brought me joy. Right? Sometimes going to church puts us blinders where I can only see God here. I can only get spiritually fed here. And for me, leaving church, not going to church, disassociating with church, which is not a bad thing, opened up my eyes to a bigger God.
Well, right. Well, in that aspect, once you leave, it is something that happens if you allow it, and it helps your relationship to grow, which is what everyone should have in the first place, in my opinion, a relationship with God, not the church or the pastor. I mean, you can have a relationship with your pastor, yeah, but I mean, your relationship with God is what's important. That's what's going to get you through. That's what's going to feed you. So I agree. The things that everything you see outside, like the botanical gardens, just seeing nature what God has created, that brings you joy. So that feeds you.
What I needed.
Yeah.
It feeds me. And I feel like, I always say this: God does not have an identity crisis. God is not concerned of how you refer to him, her, it, she, because God is everything and everything is God. But that's a whole nother concept. We don't want it. Y'all not ready for that conversation.
Well, I'm gonna say this. With you saying that, I agree totally. One, but two, honey, you can't say that and then say I am Kojic. That don't fit.
Listen, Kojic. Let me say this about Kojic, and those of us who have ever been Kojic at some point in life. This is the part. See, Kyrie, because you giving me Catholic, you giving me Presbyterian, not giving me Pentecostal. But Kojic, listen, Kojic is a gang. It is a club. It is something where I tell people all the time, no matter where you go in this entire world, you will find a Kojic church.
Yeah, but
I mean, you could be in Puerto Rico. You could be in Africa. You could be in China. They got Kojic in China.
Yeah. But they have churches everywhere. But I always say, but the black church, I think, is the same. I don't care what denomination you are. I think it's the same.
We had this conversation already. It's not quite the same.
I do. The only thing is, I say Kojic got the best singers. Now I'll give y'all that. But I think
it's definitely a game.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah, it is. You got to be born in.
You can't. I got a call the other day asking me if I wanted to come to a reunion for the state youth choir I used to be in. Now I ain't been in Kojic in forever, so it's one of those things. Like once you, I know I got to stop saying that. I'm gonna stop saying that in 2023.
You said it on. That's what made me ask this question, because on the show Friday he was like, "Well, I'm Kojic." I'm like, wait a minute. Okay.
I know. It's real. It's real. It's giving Crips and Bloods.
But it takes a lot of time to unlearn some stuff. I mean,
okay.
Until you go to Chicago.
Oh my God!
I just can't say.
You know what I realized?
St. James, absolutely. St. James, you're right. Baptist churches in Chicago, same. But Church of God in Christ in Chicago, bang. Because look here, Tina Watson used to tear it up down in St. James, Church of God in Christ. So, but Chicago just got singers. Period. The Midwest is full of singers. That's all.
Okay, let's do. Okay, I just realized we ain't went to Nair commercial.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kwame, should we do a commercial real quick?
My fault.
Let's go to commercial and come back. I'm so sorry. Play something. We're gonna go to commercial and come back. I'll see you. Let me tell you what I
Yeah,
say. I am tickled today.
I was just saying myself.
Ooh, I'm tickled. Okay, we got a few minutes left. Hey, Kyrie, I just want to say how much I appreciate you. One, I love your social media content, and two, I just feel like I feel like with the death of Twitch, um, I am compelled to show love to my black brothers and just let you know how much I love you and appreciate you for everything that you do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart now.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I love you
Yeah,
too, though, Daryl. I love your
yeah.
personality. I love your Yeah, I was drawn to you when I on social media, but when I first saw you on Dante's show, I was like, I like this dude. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Okay, let's get a couple of more questions in. Let me tell you, your questions were deep.
Well, you
You
asked me.
reached. I did. I thought you was gonna be, messy or something. I'm like, oh, he reaching into my soul today. Okay, my bad.
I'm not messy. I don't know. I'm not messy. Okay, well, now here's one question. What are your pros and your antis? Like, I'm pro-black, anti-stupidity. What are some of your pros, some of your antis?
I'm pro-human.
Okay.
I'm pro-human. I'm pro-love. Um, I am pro-black. I'm anti-negativity. And I don't like liars. Like if you want to tick me off, tell me a lie. That's gonna send me over. Man, yeah,
So pro-love. I like the pro-love, pro-human. Okay.
yeah. It's real simple.
Okay. So now you want to get to the message to the Wendy Williams. No, I'm playing.
I don't even a couple of let's see. Can we squeeze in three more questions or two more questions? We got a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Let's
We
squeeze
got
in two, three.
a couple times. So with that being said, now you said you're pro-love. So are you pro-love around the board? Which means would you date outside your race? Would you date?
Okay, it hasn't happened yet, but let me tell you something, Atlanta. Dumb country boys. I was hey, listen. What I it hasn't presented itself, right? But if it presented itself, I would. I know a lot of people tell me that, oh, I could see you with, someone outside of your race, but that offends me a little bit because I think they're speaking to how I carry myself and how I speak, as if black people are not
Right.
monolithic, right? And we all like everybody's not a thug, everybody's not, yo, what up? Like we're so diverse. Um, so would I date outside of my race? Absolutely. Has it presented itself? No, it hasn't. And I think part of that reason, um, whoever I date, we need to understand each other.
Okay.
I'll
Right.
just say, I'll say
So
that.
you're open.
I'm very open.
Yeah.
I'm very open, absolutely. But I'm a lot. I'm a
now, you,
lot.
now you are here that he's open to whomever. So now when you say a country boy, are you mean like rough redneck country, or you mean like on now
All of them. I was in
everybody
Atlanta, and the country boys were walking into the Quick Trip with the jeans and the cowboy boots, looking good. I said, "Well, hold on, wait a minute.
do they
Y'all
look
didn't
like
tell me."
Preston on Sister? Do you watch your sisters?
I don't, but if he's fine, yes. If he's fine, yes. That's what they look at. Okay, let's get two more questions. Then. What's another question?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait a minute. Oh shit! Oh shit! That was all I had. Well, we're gonna freestyle. So, tell us about your, if you can, the documentary that you're doing.
Absolutely.
Like
So,
your
okay,
whole life or to certain aspects.
it's everything. So, the documentary is by the filmmaker Sophia Wellman. It's called Freedom to Love. I will say this: you are going to learn things about me from childhood to adulthood. I talk about my estranged brother. Um, And there's some other things that I talk about that you're going to hear for the first time on the video. I don't want to go too much into it, but but yeah, I talk about family life. I talk about church. I talk about growing up in Church of God in Christ. I talk about speaking in tongues. I talk about, I'll tell one story. I talk about the time I saw the deacon at the bookstore, and the church got mad at me.
Why? Both of y'all were there.
We were both there, but he was married, and I shouldn't have said anything, and I did.
Who did you say
But
no to? Shit.
you'll see it in the,
Okay,
and subscribe to Sophia Wellman on YouTube. And thank y'all for
Well,
tuning in.
wait, no.
Okay,
Because
okay, okay.
because this brought up another question for me. Something that I've been wanting to ask. So, with your sexuality and your Christianity, which I don't understand Christianity in the Caribbean, but with your Caribbean background, has that ever affected your family life?
So my family and I are estranged. I'm estranged from my family.
Mhm.
We're just not close, and that's something, you know, I don't talk about a lot of that stuff publicly, but in this documentary, you'll get to hear about everything. I am estranged from my Caribbean family. Um,
Is it because of your sexuality, or
it is, it is, but nobody wants to say it. Right? It's easy to just not talk about it and act like you don't exist. But I was just different, and those differences, for some and my family is very Christian. The Caribbean people are very Christian in my family, and so you know we're estranged, but it's all good.
okay? So now, are you estranged from everyone? I mean, your close family, or you just about?
Everybody.
Oh wow, okay.
It's just I have a brother we haven't talked in 10 years. I
Now,
have
were
nieces.
you were you raised here, born and raised here in the States, or?
I was born in Canada. I grew, so you'll see. Listen, Kyrie, we going over time. We got to get going, but I'll say this: I am Canadian. The majority of my life I grew up in California.
How about?
It was mhm, with
Okay.
my mom and dad. But just to wrap it up, Kyrie, first, thank you for joining the show. And listen, can I have a moment? Can I get myself in the frame? Um, I'll see you in a second, Kyrie. All right, listen. Ghetto. Listen, y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning into the Daryl Walter Show every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Next year, it's going to be bigger. It's going to be even better. But lastly, what I want to say to you all this holiday season, there's so many people who are going to be alone, and there's people who are suffering in silence. Please, please. Don't just check on your strong friends. Just check on your friends. Check on your family. Shoot a text. Send a message. Tell somebody I love you. You have no idea how far that will go for somebody and make somebody's day. All right. I'll see y'all next year. Thank y'all. God bless you. Kyrie, you want to say anything?
Oh, this was fun. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoy your show. I enjoy your content as well. Thank you all. Keep tuning in to Power Media shows. Love you. Enjoy. And come tomorrow night to Candy Conversations with
Tune in
Kyrie.
tomorrow night at Candy Carries,
Yeah,
Candy
Candy Conversations
Conversations,
for
Thais
my co-host on
Report.
the show. Yeah. Ty,
Yep. And
Dr.
shout out to the big
Mark.
boss, Kwame, for having us. All that stuff. We'll see you next year.
Good night.